Coming up on Cronkite NewsWatch.
The number of gun bills in the legislature is overwhelming. We'll help sort them out for you.
Plus, the FDA is taking a new approach to warn teens about the dangers of smoking.
And doctors here in the Valley are teaching soldiers how to help those with burn wounds on the front lines.
In-depth, insightful, innovative. Cronkite NewsWatch starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite NewsWatch. I'm Zara Tallier.
And I'm Shane Dwyer. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Lawmakers are busy at the Capitol working on bills dealing with scaling back state Medicaid system, stopping human trafficking, and even protecting you from revenge porn.
First, Cronkite News reporter Lauren Wells is taking a look at the Republicans' access repeal plan. Lauren?
Earlier today at the Capitol, some Republicans sent a message to President Obama about his Health Care Act and also Governor Brewer for deciding to expand Arizona's access system. Republicans held a press conference on HB 2234, which would reverse the governor's decision to expand Medicaid. The expansion of access was included in her budget for the fiscal year of 2014. Republican Representative Adam Quasman says it will bankrupt the state, but not everyone agrees.
There's plenty of primary care options that we can have that are reform-minded, that will not have a long-term bankrupting effect on the state of Arizona.
For one of the first acts in this session to undo that progress is disappointing, and quite frankly, it's financially unwise.
It was just 8 months ago that lawmakers approved the bill to expand the access coverage to more Arizonans. Representative Quasman's bill passed committee with a 5-2 vote this morning and continues to make its way through the legislature. Live in the broadcast center, I'm Lauren Wells, Cronkite News.
Another issue before the legislature is human trafficking. If you watched the Super Bowl last Sunday, you know sex trafficking is a problem, and today our state recognized and took steps to deal with it. Cronkite News reporter Brittany Thomason is live with the details. Brittany?
Police have long known that human trafficking is a problem here in Arizona, and today some high-powered voices stood before state lawmakers to say something needs to be done to bring it to an end. Fighting against human trafficking is an issue close to the hearts of many people, like Carolyn Jones, because she lived it.
People say, I didn't know that happened. That's strange to me. Well, it was happening in my neighborhood. And you know the challenge is, now I believe that it's happening in so many different neighborhoods.
And others are taking notice as well.
It exists, but we're a big player in it worldwide, which is terrible.
That's why lawmakers are trying to pass House Bill 2454, which provides stricter penalties for adults charged with child prostitution. It would also prevent people from posting and advertising child pornography on the internet.
Try to create a broad-based approach at the human trafficking problem that we have.
The bill was passed unanimously today by the Judiciary Committee. A huge triumph for Caroline.
You cannot come out to Phoenix, I don't care who you are, and prostitute our children.
They are victims. They're not prostitutes. They're victims.
A chance to change the fate of many children falling victim to sex trafficking. CERN. Alina?
House Bill 2515 would make it a felony to post any photo or video of someone in the nude without their consent. The bill is in response to complaints that ex-lovers are sharing explicit photos in order to get revenge. Representative J.D. Mesnard introduced the bill to the Judiciary Committee. The only people who spoke with concerns were representatives from internet and phone companies. The members of the committee themselves had their own concerns that the language of the bill was too broad. Representative Mesnard said he would clean up the bill and make it less broad, and the bill was passed unanimously by the committee. Live at the digital desk, Alina Lee, Cronkite News.
The intense debate over guns is also a big topic at the legislature. Reporter Brittany Vermelia tells us that there are at least 10 bills addressing firearms this session.
In a state you could call gun-friendly.
I've been shooting since I was about 5 years old.
Gun owners like Jesse Hansen support some of the hefty collection of gun bills introduced at the legislature this year.
I believe that everybody has the personal right to protect themselves and their loved ones.
One bill, House Bill 2186, allows faculty members to carry concealed firearms on college campuses.
The best defense of liberty is a well-armed and educated citizenry. So I thought, what better place to start to exemplify civil liberty and the Second Amendment than on college campuses.
However, a separate bill, House Bill 2345, would require permits for anyone who wants to conceal a firearm.
I'm a gun owner myself, always have been, But I think if you want to carry concealed, you should have to go through a training program and go through that permitting process to make sure that you're actually able to handle that weapon.
And the list goes on. Senate Bill 1063 would allow people to carry guns in public establishments and events. And House Bill 2346 would require people to sell or transfer assault weapons through licensed firearm dealers. These bills add to the dozens of gun laws already in place, most favoring gun ownership, something Jesse Hansen is just fine with.
The laws we already have on the books do hold you accountable for your actions in the misuse of a firearm.
In Phoenix, Brittany Vermilia, Cronkite News.
Representative Campbell admits the bill he's sponsoring, one to require concealed weapons permits, probably won't go anywhere. But he also says most of the bills won't be successful because Arizona already has so many gun-related laws.
And today, the U.S. Senate failed to renew benefits to the long-term unemployed. The vote was just shy of the 60 votes required to extend the benefits for the next 3 months. This is yet another setback to President Obama's economic agenda, which left 1.3 million Americans cut off last year and grew to 1.7 million Americans this year.
Get ready for a new set of anti-smoking ads from the Food and Drug Administration. It comes with the shock value of a girl peeling off her own skin. Cronkite News reporter Juan Magaña takes us inside this $115 million ad campaign.
Dante Baker is 18 years old.
I started depending on it a lot.
Baker became addicted to smoking after his first try with a friend.
I smoked the Newport with him, and then I got hooked.
The FDA says every day 3,200 teenagers have their very first cigarette. That's why the FDA is airing commercials targeted at them.
This is an exciting and historic campaign.
Dr. Margaret Hamburg with the FDA says she hopes when our youth see commercials like this.
What's a pack of smokes cost? Your smooth skin.
It will make them think twice.
We want them to understand the real costs of picking up that cigarette and smoking it, and we hope that we can make a difference. We hope that ultimately we will save lives.
The Real Cost campaign was created to educate youth about the dangers of smoking. The real question now, is it gonna work?
Cigarettes are bullies.
We asked one Valley student and his father what they thought of this campaign.
I think my friends are gonna start thinking more than once on if they're gonna smoke or not.
And while Kay knows he doesn't want to start smoking, Baker is trying to quit.
Smoking is really bad. Like, I can't take it. Like, you notice like body changes.
Changes he doesn't want other people to go through. In Phoenix, Juan Magaña, Cronkite News.
The commercials will start running February 11th and will run in more than 200 cities around the country.
Coming up on NewsWatch.
Military doctors carry skills learned right here in Scottsdale to the front lines.
Going to college can be a difficult transition, especially for veterans. Find out how Arizona wants to help make it easier.
Imagine being stranded.
Needing 16,000 points for them.
From TV banks to computers.
Cronkite NewsWatch starts right now.
Kiss me. That's my kind of man. You've been creating quite a stir.
The winter you've been waiting for is on PBS.
You must choose either death or life.
All the drama.
There's going to be changes at Downton.
It's getting harder to say no.
The adventure.
The waves are breaking all around us.
And the spectacle of nature.
We're going to show how special these animals are.
Come in from the cold. Support the one place that can take you any place.
When it comes to taking care of our soldiers on the front lines, military doctors need to be at their best. but they don't usually get a chance to practice in battle conditions. At the Scottsdale Healthcare Military Training Facility, doctors are helping to make sure physicians in all branches of the military get the best practice they can.
4 May 1970.
It's a day George Burke will never forget.
And found me on fire, rolling on the ground.
The lone survivor of a 13-man military plane crash in Northern California, the retired U.S. Air Force captain's life would change forever that fateful day.
I was burned severely, 65% total body surface burn, 50% was 3rd degree.
But thankfully for Captain Burke, he had a doctor who would not give up.
He never let me quit. He worked on me many hours.
According to the Wounded Warrior Project, 5 to 20% of wartime deaths are caused by burns.
He was in an
Now a unique program is molding more of these resilient docs to hopefully cut down on this number. At the Scottsdale Healthcare Military Training Center, military doctors and nurses from all across the country work in this simulated one-of-a-kind forward operating base and put their hands on human mannequins under real-world frontline conditions.
Give that in the first 8 hours.
I teach them, how to assess you from head to toe, what things to look for.
Assessments that Air Force Captain Weston Wynn can give in battle when he heads back overseas.
We're able to get further hands-on and experience and learn what to do as far as from a primary survey, secondary survey, how to take care of these patients.
We'll probably have you come back.
From mannequins in Scottsdale, these military doctors transition to the Arizona Burn Center, where they get hands-on training treating real burn patients from the best in their field.
What is allowing us to do is to make sure we're bringing home our brothers, our sister in arms, from overseas.
Each day as Captain Burke does the chores around the house, he thinks back to his doctors and can only be thankful that someone had the proper skills.
When I see them, when I meet them, and when we leave, I shake their hand, I give them a hug, I tell them I love them.
Confident that this new breed of doctor will have even more success saving soldiers like him. Scottsdale Healthcare also offers a handful of other trauma and clinical programs for military physicians. Since 2004, more than 1,900 military healthcare professionals have completed the programs.
Community colleges help students transition from high school to college. Now, the state is trying to make sure that it also applies to veterans. Reporter Sophia Solis went to one college that is ahead of the game when it comes to creating a sense of community for servicemen and women.
Going to college is already a difficult transition.
When you get in an academic situation with any college, I don't care if it's major or community or whatever, it seems like you kind of get lost.
At Glendale Community College, the Veteran Services Office makes sure vets like Lawrence Harris won't get lost.
They're my brothers. We all brothers. We stick together. We all come from all parts of life.
Administrators from the college say that they even offer a class where veterans can get together and discuss their common issues when transitioning into civilian life. And they say it's really worked.
And now, Representative Ethan Thor is sponsoring a bill to fund counseling and educational services for those who served in the military.
I think the whole basis of it is if someone dedicated their life to serving our country, we need to say thank you in as many ways as we can, and transitioning into college is one of them.
HB 2177 would give $500,000 to the State Department of Veteran Affairs for college education. At GCC, the emphasis on helping veterans has really paid off.
We know that every veteran is an individual, but we also know that we're all family.
A family that may soon find more resources in the future. In Glendale, Sophia Solis, Cronkite News.
An administrator from Glendale Community College said that funding education for veterans is important because they tend to have more experience with leadership roles than the average person, making them a perfect candidate for future employment.
Coming up on NewsWatch.
2 Valley volunteers helped save 2 Apache Junction parks and are now turning to the state for a helping hand.
Going to be a beautiful weekend here in the Valley. Find out more on your weather next.
NewsWatch is one of the really big things I will always remember for the rest of my life.
You're lugging around all of your equipment, you are doing all of the work, and that's what makes it so fulfilling to me.
Being an anchor, I think it's a privilege. I enjoy every moment of it.
Seeing your show on air, it is one of the most surreal feelings ever.
What if we could unlock every mystery?
mark the beginning of a revolution.
That's a huge discovery.
That's never been done before, ever, anywhere.
No one feeds on curiosity like PBS. Give to your PBS station so future generations can keep asking, what if?
I am a chef. I cook for a living. And I think of PBS as a window to the world. That kind of place where you feel you are part of the story. I want to be part of every possible world is out there. That's when things become really amazing. And when you are able to see stories that make you wonder, makes you think, that's what really makes PBS so meaningful. And that's the kind of TV we need to be supporting today.
They're called state parks for a reason, but after losing funding in 2010 and nearly being shut down, some Arizona parks completely relied on their surrounding communities.
Now, Tara Molina says those parks are looking for some support from the state again.
After 150 years living history, Fort Verde could use some repairs. Built in 1871 and nearly lost in 2010, a white fence defines 11 acres of Arizona history.
I feel a great sense of accomplishment when we have been able to keep the fort open.
Carol Dvorak and her husband George started volunteering at Fort Verde when the park was on the verge of closure.
These buildings are way better looking than when we first got here. They were just falling apart.
And this historic site wasn't the only park on the state's chopping block.
In January of 2010, the legislature decided to cut $8.6 million from the state park's budget. The State Parks Board then proposed to close 13 of the 30 parks in the Arizona system.
But locals refused to let the economy dictate the future of Fort Verde and Lost Dutchman.
It's one of the best ones that's in the valley or close to the valley.
Folks from Camp Verde and Apache Junction stepped up to keep their state parks open, raising money and recruiting volunteers until the state could reclaim control.
Smaller towns, smaller communities cannot fund state parks on their own. They need the support. I mean, they're called state parks for a reason.
But now that it can, it won't. Arizona's governor and legislature refuse to put money back into the state parks budget.
If local jurisdictions are willing to help share in the operating costs, then they can stay open.
But what many don't realize is the money these parks bring into the state. According to the State Parks Department, parks like these have an economic impact of $266 million a year. Money that helps towns like Camp Verde and Apache Junction survive.
It's a historic site that it'd be a crime to lose.
That's why people come here to visit, is for the red rocks and the beautiful desert scenery. And without them, I think we'd lose a lot of those people.
And supporters insist that losing visitors to the state is the last thing Arizona needs. In Apache Junction, I'm Tara Molina, Cronkite News.
Arizona's 2014 budget does not include any additional money for state parks.
As you can see, eastern Pennsylvania is still digging out of snow after this recent winter storm pulverized the northeast, leaving mounds of snow and close to 1 million people without power. Now let's take a look at our satellite radar. As you can see, there's a little bit of snow still falling in the northeast areas, but check this out. You can see the storm is moving in from the west, causing heavy rain and thunderstorms in the San Francisco area, high winds throughout the Midwest, and a little bit of snow. And also the Gulf Coast states are being hit with heavy rain and thunderstorms and a little bit of a wintry mix in the Louisiana area. But the storm is not affecting us here in Phoenix too bad, as we are sitting at 61 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and winds about 7 miles per hour. But as temperatures will drop as we head into the night, 22 in Grand Canyon, 23 in Flagstaff, and 26 in Show Low. Your highs for tomorrow, going to be a beautiful day in Yuma at 74 degrees, 55 in Page, and 44 in Show Low. As we head into your 5-day forecast, going to be a beautiful weekend here in the valley with a high of 69 tomorrow, mostly clear skies, and a 10% chance of rain. Going to continue to warm up as we head into the weekend with a high of 74 on Saturday, partly cloudy skies. Going to be a beautiful day on Saturday with a high of 78 and clear skies. And as we head into the week, we're going to continue to warm up with a high of 79 on Monday, partly cloudy skies, and a high of 76 on Tuesday with partly cloudy skies. That's it for your weather. I'm Taylor Bryant.
Coming up on NewsWatch.
For those of you who think it's still cold in Arizona, how about Sochi? That's right, the Olympics are finally here, and we have the details coming up. Also, ASU basketball has one 7-foot star, but he's not the only one in his family making headlines on the court. We'll explain after the break.
Integrity and innovation.
The second I came in, I fell in love with the program.
The Cronkite School propels students into the new era of journalism.
Students are learning.
Digital, entrepreneurial, and collaborative labs encourage students to shape the future of the industry, and the industry is watching.
We have come here to meet with students at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism.
The Cronkite School, the journalism school for the digital age.
What if television could sweep us away to another time and place?
Very nice, my lady.
And could take us from the Gilded Age to the Great War. From the heat of the chase to the heart of a queen. No one tells stories like PBS. Give to your PBS station and help bring stories like these to life. What if television could remember the heroes we honored, the music we danced to, the dreams we chased?
The hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
No one tells our nation's story like PBS. Give to your PBS station and help bring America's story to life.
Imagine being stranded.
Feeding 16,000 points for them.
From TV banks to computers.
Cronkite NewsWatch starts right now.
Let the games begin. The Olympic opening ceremonies are less than 24 hours away, and Sochi is ready to go. Some members of Team USA straggled in today, even though some events are already underway. The Olympic Committee added 12 medal events since the 2010 Games, and already qualifying rounds have begun for team figure skating, freestyle skiing, and men's and women's snowboard slopestyle. Now it's time to light that torch. The Olympic Games are not the only games beginning. It's time to dust off your ball caps because spring training baseball is finally back in the Valley. The Arizona Diamondbacks pitchers and catchers reported to camp earlier this morning, and the infield decided to show up as well, making them the first team in the Cactus League to arrive for spring training. All eyes will be on new pitching coach Mike Harkey and what magic he could bring to his staff. Unfortunately, we still have to wait 20 days for the first game in Arizona. But hey, it's a start.
Excited about getting prepared for the start of our camp tomorrow, and then the position players will be in on the 11th, and hearing a lot of good conversation, and they're very motivated.
From the diamond to the hardwood, not a good night for our Suns as they were left in the dust when Superman rescued Houston. Picking things up late in the second quarter, Superman flies. Alley-oop to Dwight Howard puts the Rockets up by 7. Don't believe me when I say he flies? Let's try it again in the third quarter. Woo, doggy. Superman with the flush. Houston, we have a problem. Now for the grand finale, Superman strength. Howard rejects Goran Dragic and turns into an easy bucket for Chandler Parsons on the other end. Howard finished the night with 34 points and 14 boards. Rockets win 122-108. And from the pros to college, two brothers combined to stand over 14 feet tall and weigh more than 500 pounds. Jordan and Donald Baczynski have been battling out in the hardwood their entire lives. And Cronkite sports reporter Michael Canderas got a chance to watch the sibling rivalry firsthand.
It was only a quick picture and a high five before the battle of the Baczynski brothers. Arizona State's Jordan Baczynski took on little brother Dallin of Utah in a thrilling Battle of the Brothers matchup. Jordan, a 7-foot-tall center, is a senior at ASU and said he has always enjoyed playing his little brother.
I mean, playing my brother is always great, and it's great because we push each other to be better. I'll see him do well, and I'll be happy for him, but it'll push me to do well, and the same's towards him.
Even though these two 7-foot giants both play the center position, Dallin admits they don't like to be compared.
Me and my brother both agree that we are different players, so I try to build my game as much as I can at what I'm good at, as well as work on my weaknesses, and then just try to become the best basketball player I can be.
Jordan and Dallin weren't the only Bachinskis on the court this night. There was someone courtside even more excited and nervous for the brothers to battle.
Just to watch them play each other and just to watch them fight the whole time is amazing, especially on a stage like this.
Training together really wasn't how the Bachinski brothers liked to spend their time when they were younger.
My boys are very good at drywall repair because they've thrown each other through the drywall.
With the home team winning every time, in the head-to-head matchup of brothers, Jordan now has a 2-1 lead over Dallin through the first 3 meetings.
Always great when you can get competition, within family especially.
Jordan might have the last laugh with this victory, but one thing is for certain, this rivalry of behemoth brothers will continue for years to come. In Tempe, Michael Kinderes, Cronkite Sports.
The Bachinski brothers will have one more chance to battle out this season when Utah hosts ASU on February 23rd. But for now, Jordan is focused on tonight's game against Oregon State, and it should be a great one.
Can't believe it, Nick. March is only a few weeks away at this point.
No.
Well, you know what that means. It's almost about time to fill out those brackets.
I know who I'm going to choose. Go Devils.
Well, that's it for Cronkite NewsWatch tonight.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.